February show and tell. Even though February was a really short month, I've been very, very productive, and I'm excited to show you all the things that I've made. The first thing I'm going to start out with is this dress. I talked about this as a sewing plan, if you remember, in my, I think it was my Black Friday haul video. So this is a dress that is based off of the Luck Be a Lady dress on ModCloth. I'm going to insert a picture now. I fell in love with this dress, but I'm not willing to spend $80 on polyester fabric, and I can just tell that it's going to be way too short on me. And finally, I managed to find a pattern that I thought matched the dress. And that's when I bought this Vogue 1353 pattern from K. Unger. So I made a lot of changes to this dress. I kept the pleats along the bodice. There's, I want to say 6 of them. Even though the original dress only had 2, I thought that it still looked nice and didn't take too much away from the original inspiration. I also narrowed the shoulder straps and lowered the arm side just a little bit. I added some inseam pockets on this dress because I just felt like it's the kind of dress that needed a pocket. I did the white. If you've ever sewn a lot of like a knit pattern that has like a banded cuff or a banded bottom hem, that's exactly the same way that I've sewn the hem onto this dress. I took a white piece of fabric and I did it 9 inches wide and the entire width of the skirt. I folded that in half, so then you get 4.5 inches, I believe, and then I sewed it on with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, so then it ends up being 4 inches left on the skirt. Yeah, the original skirt pattern had all the pleats going in one direction, and I changed those into being box pleats, but I used the same pleat markers. It's just a question of like, does the pleat fold this way or does it fold back out the other way? And that's just to make it look a little bit more like the inspiration dress. This next dress I'm going to show you is what I call my girly confection dress. This was actually my first attempt at embroidery, and I'm really, really pleased with how it turned out. For this dress, I used Simplicity 8051. I've actually made this dress before. I've made the View A, which has this like really beautiful open triangle back. I made this last year in like a flamingo fabric with pink underlining. And so this time I tried a different view, which is View B, and I actually haven't seen anybody do View B on Pattern Review or anything like that, so I was really interested to see how it turned out. I've made some shelf bust patterns in the past, and I just thought they were really unflattering on me, but this one I think really has the right proportions. Let's see if I can... So some changes that I made to this dress weren't very drastic. I lengthened the midriff piece in the front by about 1 inch, and that's something that I normally do just because I tend to be very long-waisted, but I graded to nothing in the back. So the inch goes all the way across the front, inch at the sides, and then down to nothing in the very center back. So I've embroidered along the straps, as you can see here, and I did a break right at the shoulder line. And then I also have embroidered little flowers on the skirt. This is the first time I've done embroidery, and I really liked it, and I'm definitely going to do some more. Later on in the video, you'll see a blouse that I've made where I put embroidery on the collar points, and then I'd really been searching Pinterest a lot, and I found this like bumblebee, and I think it would, I don't know what is going on, but I'm going to embroider a bumblebee eventually. This is the next look I'm going to show you. It's actually a combination of 2 different things that I've sewn in February. The first is this lovely blouse. It's a 1940 style blouse, and I used Simplicity's 1590 to make this pattern. You'll notice that what I'm wearing and this pattern don't really coincide, and that's because I've actually removed the peplum from the pattern. I used View B because I liked the way the collar turned out. I actually extended this front pattern piece out to do the full front, and then extended the back piece as well. I made, I think they're called release darts. Let's see if I can get them. So it's just two lines that are sewn together, not like a dart, so it doesn't meet a point. It just, and then it releases out. And I did that above and below the waist, so it's about a 3-inch long dart. So if you have the original pattern, I did 2 inches above that waist and then 1 inch below the waist, and that's how I ended up getting this fit. And I actually really, really like it. One other little special tidbit I made is, see if I can get, so I did white on white, but it's embroidered on the collar points right there. The pants that I'm wearing are coming from Simplicity's 3688. I've seen these pants a lot online from different people making them, and it's super, super flattering, so I thought I would give them a try, and I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. I made a couple of changes to the pants. I lengthened the front and back crotch by about 2 inches each. So total, there's 4 inches added to the entire crotch length. The other thing that I did stylistically is I added 5 inches to the length of the pant, and this allowed me to make a rolled cuff. I think with the wide leg that these pants are, having that rolled cuff to give it a little bit of weight at the bottom really helps in the way that the pants hang. And I'm very, very happy with how they turned out. This was my first lapped zipper. It took me 3 times to get right. With these pants, I sewed them up using a linen look fabric from Joann's. It's a blend of like linen and rayon. I was hoping it would help a little bit with the wrinkling that's so common with linen, and it's not quite the case, but it's still a really breathable, comfortable pair of pants. If I do make these again, one thing that I would love is to have some pockets on the front. Like, you know, just, I think it would be nice to have a pocket that comes out right here. So I'd have to look into see some tutorials, see what I can find online that can give me some sort of idea on how to start that. This is the Anna dress, and that's a pattern by Hand London. I made this dress last year in a pretty graphic black and white rayon challis. This time around I used a silk sari, and this is one that I got from a website called vintageforyou.com, and they sell used saris. This one cost, I want to say like $14.99, somewhere around that, $14-15, which is crazy if you think about the fact that you're getting 5 yards of 100% silk. I think it just has these really beautiful colors, and it's something that I would never be able to afford if I had bought the fabric on its own. Now, if you're familiar with the By Hand London Anna dress pattern, you know that it asks for something like 5 yards? No. So a sari is 45 inches wide, just like a standard fabric width. So the By Hand London pattern asks for like 6 or 7 yards or something. That's crazy. The secret is that the skirt on that dress is absolutely ridiculously long. So what I do actually, instead of using the fabric or the layout, the cut layout that they provide in the pattern, I put the skirt pieces like side to side, going the width of the fabric, and I can insert a picture now. So yeah, you can see that the skirt panels are lined up right next to each other, and I cut it on a fold so you get 2 of each. So for this dress, I cut out the bodice on the decorative end portion of the sari, and then the skirt, and just like the picture that I showed you. And I ended up having about 3 yards of silk left over after cutting that out. So I knew that this silk was really see-through and very light and flowy. So I ended up cutting out a second bodice just so I could self-line it. The next dress I'm not actually going to put on just because it's really hard to get on and no one has time for that. But it's this blue formal that I've made. I used this 2-tone blue taffeta from fabric.com, and it's like a navy black 2-tone taffeta. So I do have some pictures of me wearing this dress that I can insert now while I'm talking to you about it. When I started making this dress, I had planned that it was going to be for a wedding that I was going to be attending in September. And my original plans was just to do like a V-neck draped bodice, which just I could not figure out. It was all going to be self-rafted, and I just couldn't figure it out to save my life. And so it sat in the back of my closet for a couple of months. On patternreview.com, they actually had a UFO contest for the month of January. So I thought, why not just finish it up? Once I finished the dress, I thought, it needs a little bit more, so I added some hand beading along the neckline using gray pearls and some like stormy cloud gray pearls, and then some darker iridescent gray beads on either side of the pearls. And it turned out really great. I think I found out about the contest on like January 29th, and the deadline was February 4th. So I procrastinated a few days thinking, oh, there's no way I can finish this dress in time. And then around like February 1st or 2nd, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to make it. I'm going to see what I can do. And I finished it, and I submitted it, and I won the contest. So it was pretty amazing. This is the first contest that I've ever entered on Pattern Review, and to win first place right out the gate was, I never saw it coming, and I was really surprised and proud of what happened. So the prize for the contest is a $100 gift card to fabricmart.com. So I've already placed my order, like, immediately. I couldn't wait, and I think it should be coming in the day after tomorrow. So I'll do a haul video when it comes in, because I'm really excited about all the things I got. I got a couple of patterns. I got a lot of knit fabric. I got some wool fabric, and then I got, their fashion bundle, which is like a mixed bag, 10 yards. You never know what you're gonna get for $1.50 a yard. So I will definitely show that to you, and it's pretty exciting news. So that concludes everything that I've made in February. Everybody take care, and I hope you have a great March.